If it's your first time here today, I need to warn you. This is not your ordinary run-of-the-mill awards ceremony. It is one of the most energising and frankly boisterous days that we have here in the auditorium at BT Centre. You need to be prepared for noise and audience participation, and somebody will explain this to you later. When AbilityNet first approached us 9 years ago with this glimmer of an idea about celebrating the positive role that technology can play in society, we immediately grasped their vision. We understood what they were driving for, and frankly we were surprised that it hadn't previously been thought of. And we've been partners with AbilityNet ever since, bringing the Tech4Good Awards to life. And this is our 8th year, and every year the entries just get more and more impressive. They never fail to amaze and inspire me, and they definitely live up to the ambition of changing people's lives for the better. There's some really amazing projects that we're going to celebrate here today. I've been really struck by the innovation that's been displayed, and it's often really quite simple solutions that are tackling really big problems. And it's that combination of technology and human ingenuity that really makes the difference. And as many of you will know, because a lot of you are the finalists, there's some really personal stories that sit behind that innovation. And the dedication of you in terms of bringing those ideas to life really does stand out, and we read it in every single one of the nominations. The judges, they had a really hard time, and I know people say that at every single awards ceremony you probably go to, but I can assure you that it really was true. It didn't come to fisticuffs, but there were some really seriously hard conversations to be had, and I think there's some, my fellow judges are in the room, there's a few of you, or am I just checking? I'm definitely nodding on that, it was hard. But the results of those robust conversations is a set of finalists that I'm really confident is going to blow you away. And I'm confident they'll follow in the footsteps of past winners and really make a difference to the lives of people. And as I said, we've had some really inspiring stories over the years. Today we have 35 finalists to share with you. And it really doesn't matter who ends up the final winners here, because every single one of those finalists is a winner in my eyes, I can tell you. And those are my colleagues on the judging team. Can I just ask all of the finalists that are in the room, can I ask you really quickly to just stand up and show yourselves? And can we just have a round of applause once we've got you up? If you look around the room then, you'll see there's a real variety of ages as well, and we'll come more to that in a minute. So the awards, we've got 10. It will go really fast, I tell you. It won't be one of those awards ceremonies that goes on for hours. At BT, we sponsor 2 awards, the Connected Society Award and the Young Pioneers Awards. And the Young Pioneers Awards, I'm not supposed to be biased, but I have to confess it is my favourite. It really shines a light on the next generation, and in particular young people who are using technology to solve social issues. At BT, we've made a long-term commitment to help the next generation thrive in our digital world, and building a culture of tech literacy, ensuring that young people don't just consume technology and have those really big thumbs that are occurring as a result of that, but they're really curious about how technology works, that they're in control of it rather than it being in control of them, and ultimately they're active creators with it. And the finalists that we've got here today, I can really tell you they are absolutely fine examples of that. That Young Pioneers Award, it recognises young problem solvers, and there are some awesome young pioneers in this room today. All of those finalists were brilliant, they were inspiring, and frankly I'm a little bit embarrassed because I look at what I was doing at your age and I wasn't anywhere near as creative as you are. And it's really humbling to see that. Undoubtedly though, technology does offer huge potential to solve societal and environmental challenges, and at BT we do believe that that fully connected society is a better society. It has the potential to open up opportunities for everybody, and that's an important part of our strategy at BT. And our Connected Society Award aims to uncover new and innovative tech products or services that transform people's lives for the better, or they improve our environment. And actually, I never know why we put that statement on, or they improve our environment, because surely if our environment is improved, it does improve our lives. This year, we've seen some great innovation among the entries, and we've seen a lot of new technology. The AI has certainly come through, and so has robotics. And I'm really delighted that this year's Connected Society Award winner will also receive the support from our renowned Infinity Labs team. Now, they've helped many tech startups grow their business and take their next footsteps forward. And I know they're really looking forward to finding out who's today's Connected Society Award winner and who they'll be working with. So today, look, I'm really confident that you're going to leave here with a real injection of optimism and creativity, and it's a perfect antidote to, I'm going to say it, political and football blues and Trump and whatever other blues you might have. Today you will leave here feeling good. You're going to hear really amazing examples of how technology is helping to change lives, not just here in the UK, but across the world. And I challenge you, and I really do challenge you, not to leave here feeling upbeat about the power that lies in that combination of technology and human ingenuity. My thanks to all of you for finding times out of your busy lives to come today. Do enjoy yourselves. Let me welcome to the stage Gary Moore, the CEO of our brilliant partners at AbilityNet.
So thank you, Liz, and thank you to BT for their continued support of the Tech4Good Awards. BT has played an amazing part in helping us to grow this into the substantial annual programme which it currently is. AbilityNet launched the Tech4Good Awards programme in 2011, and whilst it's the 8th year of the awards, it's my first time to see the winners up close and at first hand. So I'm sure we're all looking forward to a great event, and it just falls to me to give you a little bit of context. So we at AbilityNet are very, very proud of the great partnership that we have with BT, and also with the range of media and commercial partners who are part of the Tech4Good family. And this year, to name check a few, that includes Alpha, Brand Watch, Charity Digital News, Comic Relief, Do It, the Information Technologists Company, Lloyds Bank, Microsoft, NFP TweetUp, Recite Me, the Tech Trust, and Verge. A huge thanks to all of the people in all of our partner organisations, without whom we would not, in AbilityNet, be able to deliver the programme. And for those of you who don't know about AbilityNet, we're a UK-based charity that supports disabled and older users with their technology needs, making that technology more accessible to them so that they can fulfill their potential. Every year, we help tens of thousands, and we provide one-to-one advice and support, as well as a range of optimized technical expertise. That allows those folks to achieve their potential at home, in the workplace, and in education. So we know that the right technology, with a few simple adjustments, can transform people's lives so that we can understand the power of tech for good. This has been, as Liz said, another amazing year for entries into the programme. There were over 200, and the standard was higher than ever. And there were 2 categories alone which attracted 50 applications each. Which means that once again, we've asked an awful lot from our impressive panel of judges, who are a unique mixture of technical experts, charity experts, journalists, and specialist partners who helped us to evaluate some of the entries. Everyone involved worked harder than ever this year. The quality really tested the judges. and 3 previous winners failed to make the finalists' cut. So that tells you a little bit about how high the standard overall has been this year. So a huge thank you to everyone who helped decide the winners. It's actually quite an onerous process to be involved in the judging program. So thank you to all of those who gave up their time and talent to help us achieve the awards that you're about to hear. So like me, I'm sure that you are very, very keen to hear who they chose. So to help us announce those winners, I'm delighted to welcome to the stage Mr. Tech4Good, Mark Walker, and also to welcome a very, very special guest to help us with the announcements. Kate Russell is a technology journalist, blogger and author, and well-known face of BBC Click. And she writes about the internet and digital technology and has done since 1995. Kate's a prolific speaker and commentator on the technology scene, often being invited to speak at schools and educational events to help inspire and find the next generation of enthusiasts and possibly entrepreneurs. Amongst the many links to the world of Tech4Good, which Kate has, is that she has pledged a proportion of the profits from her own publications to one of the previous winners of Tech4Good, a charity called Special Effect. They won in 2014. So we're very proud to welcome Kate to host this year's Tech Awards. So without any further ado, I'd like to welcome Kate and Mark.
Hello, Kate.
Hello there.
I'm Mark Walker from AbilityNet. I organised the Tech4Good Awards, and like everyone, I'm so pleased that you're here, and the room is full, and we're all getting nervous and excited, as I am. And we have Kate with us, which is brilliant. We think this is your 4th one.
I think it's the 4th year now,
Yeah,
so
it's brilliant to have you back.
It's absolutely fantastic to be here yet again, seeing the entries for this year's awards just getting better and better year and year and year. There is so much fear around technology, as I see in my sort of daily work reporting, especially with stories like the Cambridge Analytica and Facebook scandal making international headlines. And how often do we see a genuinely good news story about technology? Not often enough, in my opinion, and it's a crying shame because it's such an exciting time to be in the world of technology right now. This year's entries have, for me, shown the widest and most imaginative use of all of the technologies we have available to us in shaping our world right now. Robotics, AI, big data, augmented reality, and most of all, the power of you, the power of the crowd and social connections, crowdsourced applications that help us come together and bring real joy, happiness, and raise the quality of life for so many people who, for whatever reason, are struggling with certain areas of their daily lives. So being here on this stage, again, fills me with joy and hope for the future. And every one of you, I know Liz said it already, but literally every one of you deserves to win. Unfortunately, there aren't enough spare parts for that many trophies, so we can only have one winner. But believe me when I say, you are changing people's lives for the better. And what you might lack today in going away with the trophy, you make up for tenfold in karma points, believe me.
Great, thank you. So, quick explanation of what's going to happen. Kate and I are going to announce each category. Then one of our special guests will come and announce the winner using special gold envelope.
Special role in
And then, so the person will be up, so whoever it is that wins, you'll be invited down on stage. We will give you one of these amazing trophies. So we pride ourselves on making our trophies slightly differently to anybody else's. These are made from recycled computer parts by a charming gentleman I know in Brighton by the name of Professor Scrood.
Are those spaceships and satellites as well?
They are, yeah, so yeah.
That's amazing.
They go around.
It's like, right. Want one, and then we one award missing at the end of today. Stop it.
And they're in a very big box as well. You have to take home as well. So these will be handed to you. We'll have a photograph, sit down. We don't get to hear very much from the winners at that point because we have another special treat in store for those of you who haven't experienced glow stick voting before. You'll definitely enjoy that.
Yes.
And
You'll have tennis elbows.
so we'll have a chance to do some. You'll get to choose your favourite winner today. So once you've announced who the winners are, they'll be back up on stage. We'll get to find out a bit more about them, and you'll get to choose your favourite one. This is just a great way to get to know the winners, and a little bit more than most award ceremonies do. Actually, hear a little bit of the story behind why the person or the organisation is there. Then we'll have a break. It's important, I think, for us that you network with as much as possible. We know all the stories that you presented through the awards. We've got plenty of people here who are recognised who are doing amazing things themselves because I recognise them from the previous award ceremonies. I can see 3 or 4 people straight away. We've probably been to 3 or 4 of these ceremonies. We like to get people back. We know that getting together and networking makes your work go further. You find connections that are valuable to you. And then in the second half, you'll be back down here and we'll do some more winners and a final vote for the winner of Winners with Glow Sticks. I can't see anybody with badges on. There were some lapel badges, they'll probably be handed out. But you may not know that this, this here it is. This is a QR code, and if you point your camera at the stage now, it should pick up that QR code and take you to that page. It would definitely work on the newest version of Android and iPhone, because we've tested that. It may work on your phone, and if not, you may need a QR reader. But if you do use that code, and there should be some little lapel badges which we're going to hand out to you as well at some point, it'll take you through to that page and you can join the network. And seriously, you know, we've got 35 amazing organisations here, and 8 of you are going to walk away with an award. The rest of you, we want you to connect, and we want you to find people who can help you do more of what you're doing. That's why you're here. So the networking that we do is really important, and it's really important that we encourage you to connect with each other. That's exactly why we've got a chocolate fountain. So, enough of that. Let's hand out some awards.
Thank you, Mark. Okay, first up is the Accessibility Award, which is sponsored by AbilityNet, the UK's leading experts in the use of digital tech to meet the needs of disabled people. And we know that tech can make a huge difference to everyone's lives, but it can have an even bigger impact on the lives of people living with disabilities. And this award celebrates those people who recognise the power of computing to help their impairments, or to help people overcome their impairments in a very, very practical way. And whether it's keeping in touch with family and friends, or being more productive in the workplace, or being able to complete their studies. It can also have a huge psychological effect, reducing a person's sense of isolation, boosting confidence, and encouraging well-being through all sorts of activities and services. So, Mark, please, can you tell us about the finalists?
Yes, I can. And you'll get used to a few things. One of them is that none of the categories has anybody in it who's the same as the other people in the category. So all of the categories just demonstrate the diversity of entries that we get. Equally, that demonstrates how hard this work is for the judges. But it's amazing to see the variety that we're about to run through each of the categories in this one. So the first one is Be My Eyes. Be My Eyes is a free app that connects blind and low vision people with sighted volunteers through a live video call. The blind person requests help through the app and uses the camera on their phone to show the volunteer what's going on in front of them. The person at the other end then can see the screen and can tell them whatever it is they want to know, so questions and answers, practical questions. As a network across the planet, it has more than 1.56 million volunteers, supporting 87,000 blind and low vision users in more than 150 countries and using over 180 languages. It's quite a good one to start with, isn't it? It sets the bar reasonably high. Next one, you may have heard of these guys, Facebook. The technology that Facebook uses, that we use to access the internet, is only useful if we can access the information on the internet. So all the gadgets that we use to provide accessibility are only useful if the content on the website or apps is useful. And too many websites don't have the most basic unit of information, which is alt text. So when you provide information with a photograph to say what's in the photograph, someone who uses a screen reader because they can't see relies on that information. And too many websites and apps don't have that. In 2016, Facebook launched automatic alt text, which uses object recognition to describe photos to people who are blind or have low vision and use screen readers. Then late in 2017, they launched a face recognition tool that added on to that and can tell people who use screen readers which friends of theirs appear in the photos in their newsfeed. Even if they aren't tagged, it will identify. This is using high-tech tools to make content accessible to every single one of Facebook's billions of users. Number 3, Give Vision. Give Vision is developing the next generation of low vision aids. Their latest prototype, called Sight Plus, uses augmented reality and virtual reality in a headset to help visually impaired people see better. Sight Plus works as an advanced digital magnifier, a pair of binoculars to achieve a multitude of daily stationary tasks more independently. The VR headset enables wearers to have their hands free and can be adjusted to help people with a wide range of vision impairments. Next is Seeing AI. Seeing AI is a free app from Microsoft that narrates the visual world for the blind and low vision community. This ongoing research project harnesses the power of artificial intelligence to open up the visual world and describe nearby people, text, currency, colour, and objects using spoken audio. It's available for free as an app for iPhones and has seen new features added, including recognising banknotes, recognising individual people, and now reading handwriting. And next one is Way to Be. This is a smartphone application. It's for maps and navigation are widely used for us to navigate around, but they may not be suitable for people with a learning disability. Both from a cognitive perspective and from a safety point of view, walking while trying to follow a smartphone screen presents risks from traffic, crime, and just bumping into other people. Way to Be is a new app designed for people with learning disabilities that delivers independence and mobility, as well as peace of mind to family members and carers who can make sure their loved ones are safe.
Fantastic. Sometimes it's just the simplest ideas that are really life-changing, aren't they? Okay, I would like to now invite Alan Brooks, Chairman of AbilityNet, to come on stage and announce the winner.
Well, in time-honoured fashion, I will open the envelope. Without further ado, I'm extremely pleased to announce that the winner is Be My Eyes.
We've carefully rehearsed, so we're going to stand exactly here. So you guys have you seen that? Nobody's going to do it. Right. How do we do this? Yes, that's good. Just look at the camera out and smile. That way. Just to let everybody know, I'm giving out certificates. Everybody who is a finalist will be given a certificate at some point today. If you don't get one during the ceremony because you haven't won a prize, then they're up at the top when you go near the chocolate fountain. They're like
That's a
double
dangerous place to put them. Okay, brilliant. And we will, of course, have a chance to speak to all of our winners a little bit later on when we do the Q&A session. So next is the Community Impact Award, sponsored by the Good Things Foundation, a social enterprise that delivers a range of digital inclusion projects across the UK and coordinates a network of over 3,000 UK online centres. This award is all about finding innovative and inspiring projects that are tackling the social issues in our lives and making a real difference in local communities. This is a great example of how the Tech4Good Awards are not about just the technology, but also the positive impact that it can have on people's lives. Always one of the most popular awards. We got over 40 entries this year from all across the country. So please, Mark, can you tell us more about our finalists?
Thank you. So the first entry in this category is Digital Me. Digital Me was created by a social enterprise called Digital Voice for Communities and offers a unique way, a form of creative expression for vulnerable groups of people who want to keep their identity private. It was originally designed for looked after children. And the young people use 16 apps and recording equipment as a part of a series of workshops, a whole range of different activities that explored and examined their lives and their needs. These highly personalised stories are anonymous, and they're an ingenious way for children with tough stories to tell to get policymakers on side, and these stories are then shared with authorities responsible for their care. Next up is kinder gifts. I also wonder whether it's kinder gifts.
Oh, it could be either.
Could be.
Oh,
Maybe
we'll
we got
to
two.
ask them
Where are
later.
they? Yeah.
Here,
Which is it?
it's both.
It's both.
Kind gifts for kids. So you've got to try it.
So the Kinder Gifts platform allows children to get a dream gift from their friends, but also share their celebrations with the charity. Instead of buying their own presents, the party guests are sent an invitation and gives the details of a dream gift the child would like to receive, plus the details of a charity that they have nominated. Guests then contribute through Kinder Gifts, which then makes two payments, one to the party host to cover the cost of the dream present, but one to the charity that they choose as well. Next up, Mind of My Own, MOMO. We know that better care happens when young people are listened to. MOMO One app gathers and communicates the views of children and young people who are using health, social care and education services. Meanwhile, the MOMO Express app caters specifically for people with a learning disability. The apps can be used on any device. Young people create an account and use MOMO to say how they're feeling, what they need at any time of day or night, in any place that they're choosing. Since its launch, 22,500 statements have been sent from young people and is used by over 65 organisations, including local authorities in England, Scotland, Northern Ireland, Isle of Man and Jersey. It's also now being implemented in New Zealand as part of government reforms for children's care. Next is Zero Suicide Alliance. It's estimated in the UK that there are 17 deaths from suicide every day. Suicide Let's Talk is an interactive learning tool created by Software House Reliance, working with Merseycare National Health Service System, NHS Trust, and the Zero Suicide Alliance. Their shared mission is to reduce the incidence of suicide and the stigma of talking about suicide. This highly successful tool features real-life scenarios that model the skills needed to handle difficult situations. The other key feature is it's fully accessible to people in the deaf community. Next up is Tap to the App. Music in hospitals and care uses the joy of professionally performed live music to improve the lives of people experiencing long-term illness or disability, whether they're in hospitals, care homes, daycare, supported living accommodation or special schools. In Scotland, they deliver around 1,600 concerts a year to more than 36,000 people, from Shetland to the borders and most points in between. Tap to the App is a new idea that allows people to identify music and compile personal concert lists, which can then be included in the live performance. It uses tech to support creativity, reminiscence and music making, which helps build confidence and improve social interaction.
Thank you, Mark. Well, now I'd like to invite Anna Osborne of Good Things Foundation to come on stage and announce our winner via the medium of gold envelope.
So I can reveal the winner is, drum roll, Mind of My Own.
Come to me, ladies. Wonderful.
You can see mine.
How was that?
Thank you.
Wonderful. Now, to the BT Connected Society Award. We live, of course, in a connected society, and we know that being more connected makes people happier, more productive, healthier even. This award is about all of those inspiring projects that use technology to connect people for good, to improve lives, or help create new opportunities. And the winner of this award had to show that they are meeting a very clearly identified need in their community, or tackling a real problem and using digital technology to improve the lives of others. Very varied range of entries for this. Mark, who are our finalists?
So, first up is Alcove. Alcove is creating a safe Internet of Things for older and disabled adults, replacing the fixed line telecare system with tailored tech packages. It offers a real-time, data-driven alternative to reactive services. It's moving towards a much more preventative model that can anticipate the needs of people in their homes. Alcove has deployed over 3,000 connected devices, helping older people live independently in their own homes. It's a cost-effective option for service providers, as well as giving peace of mind to family members. Next is Always in Mind. People with dementia, learning disabilities, or somebody who's had a stroke can find it hard to join in with the daily digital interactions of their family and friends, the things we take for granted on our Facebook feeds. Always in Mind provides easy access to digital content that's been shared by friends and relatives on social networks, such as Google Photos, YouTube, Gmail, Facebook. It's specifically designed to be simple and non-intimidating for anyone with low digital literacy, and encourages active engagement with media and remote friends and relatives. Next is Green Game. You'll know that sustainability is the biggest challenge of our time, as the issues of climate change, food waste, energy efficiency and clean oceans become more and more pressing. Green Game uses advanced technology, gamification and behavioural economics to incentivise people to live more sustainably, addressing overconsumption and waste in today's society. It works on a large scale, a very large scale, enabling cities, businesses and organisations to use gamified challenges that engage and reward people for living responsibly. Next is Rafiki. Rafiki is an online platform that uses artificial intelligence to match refugees to opportunities that will accelerate their integration. It brings the people who are newcomers into a particular community closer to the better future they're desperately seeking, helping them to update or localise their existing skills. Users navigate the services themselves and can be matched in real time to services such as recruitment, job coaching programs, technical training, language and cultural training, and university degrees. Next is the Small Robot Company. Farming is wasteful on an industrial scale, costing the world economy around £80 billion a year. More needs to be produced more efficiently and less wastefully to feed the growing population around the world. Small Robot Company launched in November 2017 to reimagine farming in the robotic age, and is run by farmers for farmers. They're small, precise, efficient robots plant, feed and weed arable crops autonomously with minimal waste.
They look a bit like spiders, though, don't they?
Okay.
I would like to now invite Ian Caveney from BT to come onto stage and announce the winner.
So once again, congratulations to all the finalists, but I can reveal the winner is the Small Robot Company.
Come. I happen to like spiders, by the way. Looks around his and is frowning at you. Okay, next is our Digital Volunteer of the Year award, sponsored by Lloyds Banking Group. This award is so inspiring. It shines a spotlight on those amazing individuals who give up so much of their time to use their IT skills to help people in their community. They may be helping disabled people in their home, they may be running training courses within the community centres or building websites and databases for small charities. Without their help, the world will be a lot poorer place. So please, who are this year's finalists?
This is one of those that's really easy to decide. Totally contentious.
Just give more
Doesn't cause any sleepless nights for any of the judges. We get so many amazing entries in this category, and it is inspiring to hear the stories of people who give so much for these things and so many good causes. This year's finalists stood out in many ways, but there were so many other people who came close to being chosen. This is a category that we had lots of entries in. So first up, Anne Crago. Anne has been a digital champion volunteer at Sutton Women's Centre and Stoneleigh Job Club since she retired in 2012. Anne's approach is a combination of mentor and coach, In an average month, she supports 20 people through her sessions. Many women that come to Anne for computer training live difficult lives, with a lot of them facing issues of domestic violence. Anne is someone who truly loves what she does and is always willing to share her experiences and help others. She's one of the most experienced and active members of the Digital Champions Network and has just been awarded a Gold Mozilla Open Badge for helping over 75 learners with their digital skills. Anna Holland-Smith is based in Manchester. Anna volunteers for a number of organisations alongside her work as a busy software engineer. These include courses for refugees and asylum seekers, as well as young women from a non-computer science background. Anna also set up Code Bar Manchester, providing coding workshops for women and members of the LGBTQ+ community. Next is Graham Gunning. Graham has a visual impairment called retinitis pigmentosa. I did practice that. And travels with a guide dog. He provides one-to-one training for people with sight loss across the west of Scotland, helping to develop their digital skills on their tablets and smartphones. As well as helping over 150 users, it's clear that by teaching a subject he's passionate about, his own confidence has grown immensely and he provides a role model for others. Richard Rankin. In his role as a technology volunteer for RNIB's Online Today programme, Richard has delivered over 300 hours of free support to blind and partially sighted people. Richard goes well above the expectations of people in this role, making sure his clients are supported and get the one-to-one support they need to regain their independence through the use of technology. Everybody around him says that Richard is special. He's an inspiration to others and an amazing ambassador for the RNIB.
Thank you. All amazing people. And now I'd like to invite Jeff Mossman from Lloyds Banking Group to come onto stage and announce our winner.
So, the amazing, awesome digital volunteer of the year is Anna Holland-Smith.
Congratulations.
All right, now we're real happy that you got the award. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Don't go too far.
Don't go too far. Oh, okay.
So, that's the first set of awards. We're going to move on to the glow stick voting. So, what I'd like to do is invite one person from each of the winners that we've announced so far down onto the stage. We're going to grab some chairs and bring them out. So, one person from each of the winners.
So come on, join us. Don't be shy now. Each of our 5 category winners. This is four. Each of our 4 category winners. I can hear some glow stick snapping going on. Do we have a stick? Okay. Thank you so much. Firstly, a huge congratulations to all of our winners. As you know, the Tech4Good Awards is all about sharing great stories and learning more about how tech can be used to make the world a better place. And that is why we like to get to know our winners a little better by getting them back on stage with a really awkward process of answering a few questions. And they're all sitting there looking like they're about to face something awful. But it's all right, I'm going to be kind to you. We also like a bit of audience participation, and as you know, clearly, because you're all waving your glow sticks around already, you all have the opportunity to vote. But Mark's going to tell you more about that in a moment. First of all, I'm going to speak to each of our winners so that you can learn a little bit more about them. So first of all, let's just start at the end there. You're looking very fearful, Anna.
Yeah, this is very
Can you tell us a little bit more about you and how you came to do what we do?
Yeah, I'm a self-taught software engineer. Was formerly working in criminal defence law and benefited through a number of schemes that use software engineers as volunteers to teach other people how to code. So as soon as I was a software engineer by profession, that was something that I obviously wanted to do. And I think that digital skills in general, but software engineering and coding skills specifically, are a really powerful tool for social mobility. So that's something that I've invested a lot of time into.
And you obviously do a lot of work in trying to increase the profile of women and LGBTQ plus communities within coding. It's such hard work, isn't it, getting the acceptance and the lack of kind of like these sort of awful kind of biases that people have. How is that work going for you?
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot of work still to be done in the technology space. But my experience has been that those people that are currently underrepresented in technology or underserved by technology are actually very keen to be empowered with the skills to be able to help make the technology that might in turn remove some of those biases. So I do think that there's a lot of hope that that might change in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. So for you, if you could sort of like wave your magic kind of wand over the world and change one thing about it, is there anything that you would pick? What would you like to fix most of all out of all? Because you do a lot of work in a lot of different areas and you give up a lot of your spare time. What would you wave your wand over and cure the world of?
That's really hard. I think I just would like for all organisations to recognise the power of Tech for Good, because greater investment in these kind of initiatives will go some way to solving a lot of the problems that we have in society generally, but in the tech space specifically, I think.
Brilliant. And where can people follow you on Twitter if they want to follow your work? Or anywhere?
Well, I should know that. If you look for Anna Holland Smith, I don't think there's too many of us.
Perfect. Anna, thank you so much again. So, Alexander, remind us about your enterprise and what you do.
So, at Be My Eyes, we help blind people see, and we do that by connecting them to sighted volunteers through our app, and where the sighted volunteers are able to assist blind and vision impaired people through a live video connection. So we connect people who can see with people who can see, so it's really like crowdsourcing site.
Yeah. Now, we see a lot of technologies being used for helping people with vision problems, augmented reality, some all sorts of different headsets and stuff. But actually, that human touch makes a real difference, doesn't it?
We certainly believe so. It's, I think that, thank God that AI is going in that direction of becoming a really, really powerful tool, and I think it already is. But in many cases, and I think that AI is good for A and B questions, but a lot of our users use it for an opinion about something that's really, really detailed, or a description of a sunset, or walking through the park, or whatever it can be. And sometimes you need that, like, those humans' eyes on that problem to really fix it.
Yeah, so you're really bringing people together to give that shared experience of life.
Yes, that's yeah.
How many volunteers do you have?
1.5 million or something like that.
That's amazing. Such brilliant work. Alexander, congratulations. Ben, tell us about you.
So I've been working in tech for nearly 20 years, but was recently just made aware of the problems that are happening in farming and the issues around how much food we need to produce in the next sort of 20, 30 years. We have to produce 7% more food by 2050 than we're doing at the moment. But some of the predictions say that because of the damage that industrial farming is doing to the soil, we don't even have that much time left in the soil to be able to produce the food. So I've been looking for ways and trying to understand how we could allow farmers to produce more food while using less chemicals, less inputs, less fuel, and the way to do it was by using small, precise, accurate robots to be able to do it.
And it's interesting because I remember doing a report for BBC Click a couple of years ago on farm technology, and when the idea was floated, I was just like, "Oh, you use technology in farming?" But they actually, I mean, they X-ray the ground, or they're actually using some fairly intense technologies already. Is robotics a fairly new introduction to this realm? Then is it? How do farmers accept it? You know, when you go up to the farmer and say, right, we're going to make an army of spiders that are going to farm your crops for you. Do they go, oh no, Terminator?
Well, so my business partner is a fourth generation farmer, arable farmer. So he came back to work on his family farm and realised the situation that his farm was in just from a pure business perspective. And when we were introduced and started talking about producing a company, the first thing we did was go out and interview as many farmers as we could. We spent 6 months on the road, speaking to farmers and understanding where their problems were, the issues that they had, and how open they were to new technologies. And the issues weren't around farmers being open to technologies, they were the fear of buying into a technology which didn't work. It was the fact that they have all had horror stories about spending tens of thousands of pounds on new technology which broke down very quickly or just left them in the lurch. So we explored and developed a model around farming as a service, which allows farmers to lease our technology rather than having to buy it, which means that they can access it very simply, they can try it out on a small piece of land, and they can engage with it, and that's been very popular with farmers.
Truly are disrupting, probably one of the oldest industries on the planet, so congratulations, well deserved. You're not wearing a name badge, so I'm going to have to remind you your name. Yvonne, talk to us about what you do from MOMO. Yeah.
Well, lots of people in our society don't have a voice in decisions that are made about them. Some of those people are young, and we're very interested in young people, especially those who might be socially excluded or for reasons not of their own making, don't get to say what they want in their lives, and that's what our apps are all about.
And what's the kind of, we've been going for a little while now,
yes.
What kind of response do you get from the people whose lives that you're influencing and changing? You must have some great stories to tell.
Yes, we have. I mean, basically, when they're introduced to one of our apps, the young people, their initial reaction is normally, wow, because they can be enabled to go and tell their story or express their views in places of their choosing, at times of their choosing, without any pressure. And those of us who have teenage children or have them, you know, remember when you tried to talk to your kids about what happened at school today, and they just go, nothing. But, you know, if you get them in the car when you're both not looking at each other, sometimes the stories tumble out. And it's the same in using our apps. Young people are enabled to just say what they want when they want, and they find that tremendously empowering, particularly when action follows by one of their workers, which is the idea.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, with rising instances of mental health problems for young people, it's really important, isn't it, that we give them that kind of like, it's almost like a steam valve, isn't it? Just to let off steam and know that somebody's going to be there who understands and can respond to their problems. Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for all of your work as well. Slightly awkward, but you all have to stay there and watch people vote for you now, so sorry about that.
Can we have the lights down, please? Oh, yeah, that's the one we really put everything on. So let me introduce you to Paul. Hello, everyone. Who can do amazing things with a glow stick. So, the way this is going to work, if we can switch over to the...
So I'll just explain how this works very quickly. Basically that's what the camera is seeing at the moment. So if you'll wave your glow stick. So it's measuring the distance there, the difference of you moving. Okay, great. So when I count you in, you'll then wave for 10 seconds. So one vote. The more you wave, the bigger your wave, the more you vote for that person, okay? Yeah. But it's only for 10 seconds. Okay, you ready? You ready for this? Okay.
We're going to calibrate them first. We're going to do a
Oh
calibration.
yes, good idea. Yeah, let's see
Special
what we can do.
It's
Okay.
really working.
So let's go all out. Okay. So just do as much as you can. So 3, 2, 1, go! This is you. You're.
You want to say that to yourself, Mary?
Yeah, I expect that just to be a warm-up number. You guys can do better than that. Okay, so ready for the first.
So ready for the first vote. So, the first person today, the first organisation you're going to vote for is Be My Eyes. So the idea is you've got 4. It is sort of calibrated enough for you to be able to decide exactly who you want to vote for. But my suggestion is just wave it around that because obviously it's going to be tough. The person who gets the most is going to go through to the head-to-head at the end. That's the basic idea. So,
Be My Eyes, Alexander here.
Alexander from Be My Eyes. Let's so Paul count you in.
3, 2, 1.
More if you want more. You can go faster if you want more. Next on my list is the Small Robot Company.
Small Robot Company.
Okay. So I think they should win the domestic voting. Now's the time to get your tennis elbow out.
So, 3, 2, 1, go!
Robots could have done better, I think. Could have got some robots in there,
Next up,
Wisdom of the crowd. Okay.
Next up, Anna Holland Smith.
Anna?
So, the best you think. Ready?
Okay, so 3, 2, 1, go!
My demands are getting tired now. You have to dig deep, people. You're going to have to dig deep. Oh! 2018. Looking second place there.
And finally, your votes please for MOMO.
Yvonne.
Okay, so 3, 2, 1, go!
All few people have got second wind. Did someone get peaked too early?
So, by the powers invested in me by the King of Glow Sticks, I declare. That's you.
Am I king?
You are. I declare. Actually, you must show people how you're controlling it. Look.
Oh, it's an Xbox 360 controller. Tell it to reset.
Wait, didn't just break the magic there.
There's everyone. Hey, hi everyone.
I declare Be My Eyes the winner.